For a man who had to plead to be included in the Kenya team as a field event athlete, Julius Yego has seen it all in the journey to becoming the 20th Commonwealth Games Javelin champion. Yego is self-coached, and on a rainy Saturday morning, he thought maybe he will be on the podium come Saturday night after competition.
Oh, and that's a good throw from the Kenyan.
I had the faith that I was in the medal bracket, but for the medal, the goal I got tonight, I was expecting it, but it was a 50-50 situation because Keshon Walcott was here, the Olympic champion. But I was confident. I had that confidence that I will do well in the finals.
The rain made conditions tough for the competitors, and his winning throw of 83.87 meters came in his third of 6 attempts. The first two were 79.12 and 77.69 meters. Yego had a problem. He strained his groin in the warm-up area, and the pain was unbearable in the run-up to the throws. As the curtains come down on the athletics program at the Hamden Park, Kenya collected gold number 9, 10 and 11. Gold number 11, very unexpected one from Julius Yego, who did all this with an injury.
The first throw, I wanted to do the first throw my best, but it was not coming. And after I put that ice, and then I was feeling there was less pain compared to when I was doing the first throw. And come the third throw, I hit it well, good technique, and yes, it was the winning this time.
After that throw, Yego skipped his 4th and 5th attempts as the pain was too much. He was lucky because he was in the lead and didn't have to throw again. Tension came in the last throw, the 6th for the other competitors. Olympic champion Keshon Walcott from Trinidad and Tobago was in the 2nd position and was the last one to throw round 6.
Yes, I was holding my breath. Remember last year also, I did not want to experience the same thing which happened last year when I was bronze medal was taken away from me. So I was just holding my breath and not for him to have a big throw.
But for now, he's the man of the moment. A gold finally for a man that relied on YouTube videos to coach himself.
87 in the 3rd round and then passed the 4th, 5th and 6th. Just waited to see if he needed to throw again, and he did.
This is just, it's a reward for me for the hard work I've been doing, you know, the sacrifices I've been undergoing, you know, making sure that I train every day, you know. Javelin is one of the field events in Kenya, and not everybody likes the events, the field events. It's not well promoted in Kenya, so I was just pushing ahead and make sure that I win the championship.
He arrived at the javelin stage in 2010 with a bronze at the Africa Championship in Nairobi. 2010 Commonwealth Games in Delhi, India, he was 7th. And in 2011, he was not included in the All-African Games team. He had a confrontation with the National Olympic Committee of Kenya officials who later reinstated him, and he paid back with a gold medal. The next step for him is the Africa Championship in Morocco and the World Cup later in the year. Michael Kinyi, Sunday Live in Glasgow, Scotland.
Just a few words. This gentleman, he will put some slices on the... Julius is, how do you say, he's absolutely talented kid as a javelin thrower, but he's an absolutely great person also. It's really humble gentleman to work with. I have been lucky to work with the great athletes. I have my athletes. I'm just telling this. I'm not. But that's the real truth. That my athletes have been winning since 1991 World Championships, Olympics, 98 medals. I have never had a big group. For example, in Commonwealth Games now, we had 11 athletes, and my people are winning 4 gold medals, 1 silver and 1 bronze. What is this? Where I have to push. In the middle here? This one. Okay. So I have the experience as a coach, because still till 2013 I was coaching long jump and triple jumpers. I'm coaching Korpi Mokoina to 850 and triple jumpers 1735 and ladies triple jump 1530 and so on. So I have the experience about coach. My job as a manager, I try to get the good cooperation with the coach and the athlete, and the coaches and the athletes, they will tell me the plan, how to go on, for example, with the meetings. But in Julius' case, because there is a gentleman, there was no coach. And the story was that how we started the cooperation with Julius was that 2011 we were in Brussels in whatever Golden League, Diamond League meeting with Ari Manni and some other athletes. And then I was following same time the All African Games results. And then Ari was complaining during the breakfast that he's feeling very tired and flat because it's the last competition of the season. And then I went to my room and then I was following the results from All African Games. And then I saw Julius Yego 78 something from Kenya. I said, what the hell, 78 is from Kenya. Then I went to lunch with Ari and I said, Ari, by the way, he was not throwing today more than 78, let's say 32, what Julius is doing there. Then you are not flying home to Helsinki, you're going to walk to Helsinki. And by fifth throw, Ari was able to beat that Julius result in the competition. So a few weeks later, I called this gentleman and then we started the cooperation, and we were lucky because in Finland we have still some coaches, they understand javelin throw. And we started the cooperation with a few names, Petteri Piironen and Kari Ihalainen and so on. We have a lot of friends in Finland. Julius have a lot of friends in Finland, and I guarantee that most of these people. It's the machine. Okay, good. Okay. I think that most of the Finnish javelin throwers, they respect Julius a lot because they know the way, actually the way how much and how much he has done alone to get on the level where he is right now. And the thing is also not only because of the throwers, also the other athletes understand this because he's coming from the country that there is no culture of the javelin throw. Of course, these people have been throwing maybe more than the Finnish people in the history, but because they were hunting. But the thing is that he was the first gentleman to come on the level where he is right now. Julius is also highly respected with the Kenyan team and the other athletes because he's not a runner, he's javelin thrower, so he's something else. They have, in every village there is an Olympic champion, world record holder. But in javelin throw, he's the only one. And he's the first one, by the way, maybe Mirko knows, but I think he's the only African athlete who has been getting final in the Olympics as a javelin thrower. And the Kenyan team has been nominated now, Julius, to be the team captain in World Champions Moscow and team captain also in the Commonwealth team. Where I have to put this?
Yeah.
Okay. Shortly, the progression. Julius can tell more about his history, but you're going to see that he was doing the progress every year up to this year. And I guarantee if the weather was nice, we have the Australian friend here. Where is Hanni? Here, there. We guarantee that he can tell the same story that date in Glasgow, it was a terrible rain. It started 3 o'clock morning, it was raining. When I was coming by taxi of about 40 minutes to come to the stadium, you have to do not the shortcut, we have to really go around the city where the stadium, because most of the streets they were closed because of the water. It was a really strong rain, and the day when we had the qualification, Walcotters do his PP and everybody was throwing well, and we were waiting for the great final. And my feeling is that if we had the same weather in Glasgow during the final, we had the qualification, there was 2-3 guys that they were doing 85 plus something. I think Walcott and Julius was able to do 87 meters. Also, Julius had in African Games, when he beat Ihab in the African Games, he had more than 87 just stepping on the line without, I don't know what was the reason. Okay, the floor is open, and Mr. Julius, you have had some questions before, and then the people can ask, and then just be open and honest, okay?
Yeah, sure. Julius, let's have a seat here. Comfortable. Okay. You've been in our Javelin Conference already for 2 days and have some participated in our discussions. Thanks for that. Good to have you here. Tell us something we don't know about Julius Yego. Where do you come from, Kenya?
It's a difficult question, but I think something maybe which most of you guys don't know is that I'm the fourth born in a family of 9 siblings. And number 4, or that letter 4 has been following me everywhere. If you even see on the distances I've been doing, they must be 4 everywhere. And that's something you don't know about me. And I'm a married man with 1 wife. And we are expecting our firstborn early next year in March, probably 17 there. So very soon I will be a dad.
Congratulations about that. What about your childhood or youth? Tell us something about how was your sports in general. What did you do when you were young, you were a child? What did you do?
When we were young, we didn't play a lot of sports. Most of the thing we are doing is the kind of play for the young kids. We were not doing much of sports. It was just for play. And we didn't have that. We don't have that culture like when I see in Finland that the young kids that are being brought by their parents or their coaches to come and train for a particular event. But in Kenya, we didn't have that kind of sports taking it more seriously. It was just a kind of play. Mostly we were playing soccer. So that's the basic kind of sport every other child will have.
Yeah. So javelin, how did you find the javelin? What was your first experiences with the javelin? How did you find it? How did you get interest with these sports?
My first time getting interest with the javelin was I was a young boy. I think I was like 12 years, and my older brother, our second-born brother, he was doing javelin as well, but unfortunately he stopped because when he was playing soccer, he had a very serious shoulder injury, so he stopped. So there was this day we had competition in our school, and he was throwing, and it was just a stick, not the real javelin, and he was really doing very good. And then I had that feeling that even me, I can do it. So I developed the interest from that time. So come the following year, when we had competition as well, because I was very small, I was not included in the school team. So I had to plead with the games teacher to include me in the team, but there was only 3 chances. So my brother was doing it, my 2 brothers were doing it, that's the second and third one were doing it, and some other guy. So they say they can't allow me to participate because I was not in the original list. So I had to plead after the competition. I told them, can I try and throw? We can measure and see who could be doing well. So they included me. I was doing it as a guest. So I did it, and I beat everybody. But I was not included in the team because I was very small, and the other guys were bigger than me.
Well, you got the ambition though already.
Yeah.
To do that, okay. Where did you get javelins? Was there javelins for use to you? How do you get those in Kenya?
It's so sad that we don't have javelins in Kenya, the kind of javelins we use here. It's only in big stadium where we have javelins. But for me, I was lucky. I had the first experience with the javelin, the Chinese kind of javelins, the Feilu one, in 2004 when I was in school. So in my school where I was, we had that kind of javelin, and that's the first time I experienced the metallic javelin.
But we have already discussed you didn't have any coach to anyone to show you how to do the throwing.
I've never had that before. Even during that time I was doing it, we were using the wooden stick. We were not, there was no coaching at all, because it is just something which is seasonal. It's like winter now. When winter comes, you know how to put on the winter clothes. So the kind of culture we have here in Kenyan school is that when the time of athletics come, then you just go to any sport you like, and you compete in school. When you win it, and then you are in that sport. There is no way I can't say that we have a culture where we coach athletes or young children for any kind of sport. It's your own. Should say it's your own take on it. If you like it, you do it. If you don't like it, you stay.
Yeah. So the role of how do kids get involved in sports? How to get themselves in sports? It's in schools in Kenya. Is it so? Not clubs or anything.
People in Kenya get into sport depending on where they come from. Like where I come from in Kenya, it's the Rift Valley part where we have most of the athletes coming from. So children will develop the interest of running because of where they come from. It's like football again. We have that kind of thing again. People will always get into sport through your own interest. There is no that thing like here in Europe whereby you will notice your child maybe is interested in kind of sport, so you will take that child to that sport. But in Kenya, as you can see, we don't have very young people coming up into athletics in Kenya because of the kind of culture we have. It's only after maybe 15 years, and then somebody will get into it because maybe in school when we have such kind of competitions. So if you run and you are doing well, then you will start from there.
So that was childhood and younghood about the training culture. How would you describe as an athlete, being an athlete in Kenya, and do the training? Could you tell us about the culture? We know that most of they run a lot, but are there any throwers in general in Kenya?
Yes, I must admit that we have very talented athletes in Kenya who can do javelin. When I look back, we used to have very good athletes who are doing very well in javelin, even in the history of Kenya, but they were not doing the right distances, like 80 meters, because the record until 2011 was 78.18. So it was a good distance by then, but without any coaching. And the kind of culture we have in Kenya is that when you are a sports person, it's your personal take on it, how much you do it for that sport. We don't have of course we have like every day I've been like into conflict with my federation because every year we have like clinics like this for all coaches, and sometimes we have new coaches coming in who are undergoing for courses, IF courses, and after that they go. You will never notice that coach, and until next time when maybe when we have championships like Commonwealth Games, World Championships, Olympics, so that coach will come and say, yeah, I was coaching this guy when he was young, and in real sense this person was not there. So the kind of culture we have in Kenya is not much developed. It's because that Kenya, yes, many people run, so it is there and it will remain there because we have talented athletes who can run. Like running, you doesn't have to go and coach somebody to run. As long as the person has the speed, you can run. That's why we are doing very good in long distance, and because you doesn't need a coach doesn't need much of his time really going to the athletes. We are not doing very good in sprints and field events because we don't have the very experienced coaches who can identify an athlete in a young age, develop the athletes, and
that's good. Yeah. So, how did you get the idea to come to do training in Finland? When was it, and how did you get this idea?
The first time I came to Finland is after I won the gold in the All African Games in Maputo, as my manager just told you. So it was after that championship. It came late after the Daegu World Championships, so it was in October. So after that, we had that competition. I won it, and everybody was excited. Now Kenya has won a gold medal in javelin. So the idea of coming here, it was through my friend, who happens also, we happen to be in the same manager, That is Shuka. So this man was in the relays team for Kenya in the Olympics and the World Championships in Daegu. He was doing very good. So he told me, my manager wants to talk to you. So for me, I didn't have the idea of, yes, so what can we talk with somebody I don't know? So I tell him, okay, you can give him my number, we will talk. So after 1 week, I receive a call from Yuka, we talk about it, and he told me very good things about, so he wanted me to develop my javelin career. So I came to Payola, and it was December, and it was very cold, very dark always. So I came to Finland that time. So the idea of coming to Kuortane now followed. After now, he was so interested in me. After we met, we talked. We had like 1 week training session. So he told me maybe you should come back to Finland, but it was so expensive. So I think he talked with the people from the IF. So and that's when now I got a scholarship to come and train here for 3 months.
So coming here must have changed something. How do you feel? What was the biggest change in training when you started to train here under Petteri's coaching?
The biggest change I can say when I came here was the technique part of it, the training I was doing here, and you know, the love of sport by the people around here. Everybody wants to do it. So of course, even at home I was doing my own training, but it was not deep. But here is just you are doing training, not just coming here and you know you stay. And the kind of people you will meet here always is coming to train. Nobody is just coming, and the people who are not coming to train here are only the coaches. They come and coach you. So I really gain a lot of experience in javelin, the skills which is met in javelin, and the basic gym training, and also first time I was doing relay gymnastics, which is correlate to javelin throw.
What do you think yourself? What is the biggest thing to explain your progress in these last years? We've seen the results here. What do you think which have been the biggest issues to be a better thrower or even fighting for the medals in the big games?
My progression, I think, is my personal tech. You know, I wanted to do it like what these guys are doing. You know, when you see Andreas throwing 90 meters, Tero is coming and throwing 90 meters. So I had that belief that even me, I can do it. So every other time I was doing my training, I'm just focusing to throw far, not just to train, to throw far, to win championships. Remember last year I almost win that medal. And that's a good, it's a good way of progression. You want to achieve more. You know, progressions depends on mostly on the athletes. You can have your coach here always coming for you, but if you don't have the belief and the heart that you will progress, it's much difficult. But for me, it was always, I wanted to achieve more.
So, what about your feelings right now? Are you everything okay? I'm feeling ready to fight the medals at the Beijing 2015. How do you see the situation right now?
Yes. I think it's now time for me to go to Beijing and battle for the medal. You know, the major thing in championships is making to the finals. In the finals, anything can happen. Remember Keshon Walcott in London, won the gold medal out of nowhere. I remember I was even in the same group with him. I beat him in the qualification, but he won in the final. So in major championships, the major thing for me, according to me, is making to the finals. And yes, God willing, next year, I want to battle for the medal in the World Championships, or even to be the champion. It can happen. This year, like last year, we had very good competition in Moscow. You know, 4 guys throwing over 85 meters was really pleasing, according to me. Though that medal get away from me in the last throw, but looking on the distance, I was just a happy man because 85 meters, I'm now like any other elite thrower who's doing well in javelin. So next year, yes, I'm going for the Beijing title.
So you're feeling being a, how do you feel you're feeling comfortable being a part of this international javelin family now?
Yeah, it's a great thing to be in such a international conference, more so Javelin Conference, and here in Kuortane, because this is the place I always it changed my javelin career, being here mingling with the world, other world people, coaches mostly who are doing their coaching in different parts of the world, and being here. When I received that email from my manager that I was to come here, the first thing I asked him was, where will it be staged? So I thought it was Helsinki, and then he told me, no, it will be in Kuortane. So I told him, yes, I will be there. So it's a great thing to be in such a biggest conference in the world.
Thank you, Julius. Let's have open questions from our audience. Anything you'd like to ask from Julius, please, be free.
Listen, Timo, you can put that YouTube when you is throwing this Javelin game. And I want to ask Tapio and whoever the coach is, what is the good thing, what you can see in his technique? What is something that you can see that there is something special, or is there something special? Because he's not tall, he's just a normal guy, so there has to be something that's why he's throwing so well. And the one thing also with Julius, one thing is also with Julius is that, and that's for the young generation, I'm the old man, 62. So the thing is that when you are practicing without the coach, and when you are practicing with the bad implements, every time you have to feel the body.
And the World Cup later in the year.
Michael,
can you send a live in Glasgow?
Julius, like he's right now, technically. That's my feeling, that he has been thinking what he was doing there. Because there was no coach who was saying, you have to do this, you have to do this. He had his own, he was using his own head. And then when he was getting some more technical information for Petteri, then that was making the progress. What do you think about that? It's the Julius Conwell, that's the 10 man. Not Mr. Bolt. That's it. It's coming. It's from the front. It's not on the side. But because I guarantee that we have much stronger people in the weight room than what Julius is right now. I'm still worried about that he's not coming big, because he needs to have the elastic legs that he had. And then when you are coming stronger and stronger with the weight room, you're going to lose the explosive power and the elasticity what Julius had naturally. But there is few things that he's doing good, because I had the long talk in Moscow after the World Championships final in the warm-up area with Jan Selesny, and we were talking a lot, because of course I was super disappointed Julius was not getting the medal, and Jan was happy because Vesely was winning, but because Mr. Jan is still the Mr. Javelin, and we were talking a lot, and he mentioned a few things what is good with his technique.
Yes, I can say one thing. Somebody else can say some others, but if you look at the Julius throw, you can see it's last two steps they are very quickly, and the main point in my view there is that the break leg, left leg, it's very tight, and you manage to keep it very high. It bends a little bit, but immediately you have an extension. And as we know, this reaction force just toward the break leg, it's one of the most important point in javelin throw, so that you can get the reaction force from the platform, and this is excellent level. Somebody can continue.
5th and 6, just waited to see if he needed to throw again, and he did.
This is just, it's
His speed, where are you want to know? His speed onto this good reaction, this good left leg, is very good. And you can see because he comes over the top of it and through. Raise your hand.
I've got some video of Julius. I've got some video of you throwing at the Olympics in 2012, and it's quite evident that you're much faster off the right side now when you land on your right leg into the block. So that seems to have progressed significantly since London. So when you're much more in control of the delivery, when you throw it, you just stop. I've got some video here of you almost falling over to the left when you threw in London. So it's huge progress in the last 2 years.
Yeah, I think what he's saying is right. That's the main thing that I was telling you, is part of the technique I've really progress on. I remember when I was here in Finland and I was with Petri, that was the main talking point I was always having, you know. That block I was like much on the left, but now it's going forward, yeah.
How about Grant? What's your notice?
Yeah, I agree totally. I mean, you know, off the right to the left is really good, and hold the left side really well into the throw. So if you can set yourself up, and it's like I think Julius was saying, he's moving into the block really well off the right side. Left side stays fairly close, and so was able to get over the top. It's very quick.
Okay, maybe some other questions than technical. Okay, Sami.
Yesterday we heard that for at least for the Finnish javelin throwers, and I guess it applies to quite a few of the other top throwers, you tend to have injuries: shoulder, elbow, back, some lower leg injuries as well. You had some, I think, adductor problems, but how about like shoulders, elbow, back? Because you have been throwing a lot and doing very, well, not little weight training, but you are relatively weak compared to the other top throwers. So how about your injury history in that sense?
To me, I haven't had a serious injury, which has hinders me from continuing with my practice. The injury I got here was, the first injury was in 2012. I had a problem with my elbow, but I think much of it was because of the kind of weather I was, when I was in Finland. It was really cold. So I remember when I came here, the temperatures were ranging between -20 and 25. So I think my muscles were getting tighter and tighter because of the kind of weather I was here. But when I went home, I was feeling okay, and I came to London, and I did my personal best in London. And for the last 2 years, I've been having the problem with my ankle, but that's the area I think I should be working on. It's weak. It's just my ankle is weak, so I haven't had very serious injuries. Like, you know, when you have back injury, and the shoulder injury, it can keep you away from javelin training. But you know, I always say in Africa we are always strong naturally. I don't need to go to have much weights. So, according to me, I've not had a very bad injury. That's the lucky part of it.
There is one thing with Julius that I think comparing our weather, that Julius can practice with the nice weather. Of course, in Kenya there is raining a lot sometimes a year, but the weather, the sun, everything, it's really important for the recovery. But one thing now, we are talking that there is no injuries. I guarantee that this year we are fighting with the injuries before every competition. Every competition. He was injured with the ankle, he was injured everywhere there was small injuries. Every time we met, he said, Jukka, first time, where is our physio? We have to go and get Bennett. I have to go with the one Austrian many. Every time he was a little bit injured. Every time. And the funny thing is that he's always injured before the big championships, and then in the champions he's doing all his PB. So that's one. I'm wondering first time when Julius came out injury, I always tell Penny, my physio, okay, just do some small massage, he'll be fine. But the thing is seriously, now Julius is coming on the level that the injuries will come if we stop taking care of his body. And that's the problem in Kenya, that we don't have the physios, but then he has to be more active to work with his body. Then this morning we had a good lesson with Reijo. He's there, our special man there. You know, we had a good lesson today. So hopefully you learn. That's the main thing for the progress, that we have to use the knowledge of the experience. And if this man will stay without the big injuries and operation, then we'll get the progress. We know that javelin throwers, they have problems. Triple and javelin throw, actually, I don't know why we have to triple and javelin throw.
We have a question, please. Julius, you said that your weights, your stats quite over a lot of people. How many times a week do you stay in the gym? How many times do you train every week in the gym, specifically weights?
Weight training is like 2 times in a week, and sometimes I skip. But in my program, because I'm getting the program from Petri from here, and sometimes I skip weight training. I'm doing much of maybe pounding, you know, and flexibility. Because you know, what I fear most is to lose my upper arm, the upper body flexibility. So weight training, yes, 2 times in a week, but not very deep.
Frank, have you never measured Julius throws? Have you never measured?
No.
Okay, you don't have any data. Next season.
Yes.
Okay, some more questions? I think we still, okay, you have.
For the YouTube videos you watched, what were the majority of the videos that you initially started to learn from? Were they more technique, more flexibility, or strength videos?
Most of these things I was watching on YouTube is basically the basic training for javelin. You know, technically you cannot watch and say, this is the right technique. No, even the other somebody you watch, maybe is making some mistakes technically, but basically I was watching the strength training, you know, the speed, and always I was watching what they were doing in the gym. Of course, I used to watch the kind of gymnastics and players was doing, but you can never try that. I was just watching the specific kind of training which is you can apply easily.
Okay, my question, Julius, what is your great dream, your great goal at your career?
Wow, I have many dreams, but
tell us.
In this javelin career, I've been always dreaming of winning a meta championship, you know, like the World Championships and the Olympics. Sometimes it's difficult to win both, like World Championships and Olympics, but my main dream has been to win meta championships in the world, or just to get a medal. You know, winning the World Championships, something you feel, you know, you will remain a world champion forever. Like winning the Olympics, you will always be the Olympian. So my main dream has been just to win meta championships.
I think we thank again Julius, and then we continue. Thank you.